Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Who Is Better Bro channel. I am Jeremy, and today we're talking about Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to give you my full perspective on Christian McCaffrey and whether his skills will really translate to be a very good running back in the NFL. So, Christian McCaffrey, an outstanding career at Stanford. One of the best running back careers, if not the best running back career in the history of Stanford football. Absolutely amazing. But it's all about the next level. It's all about the NFL. So when I look at Christian McCaffrey, I see basically, I would refer to him as like maybe a lesser version of a LaDainian Tomlinson. That's his skill set. That's the skill set he reminds me of. A lower skill set LaDainian Tomlinson. Now LaDainian Tomlinson was a bit heavier than Christian McCaffrey. We're talking about 10 pounds heavier when LaDainian Tomlinson came in the NFL. And LaDainian Tomlinson continued to gain a few more pounds as he got a little older. Also, LaDainian Tomlinson, in my opinion, was a little shiftier than Christian McCaffrey. Now, that doesn't mean Christian McCaffrey isn't still one of the shiftiest out there. It's just LaDainian Tomlinson's maneuvers he could make inside the hole and outside the hole were quite amazing. So that is what I view. LaDainian Tomlinson was great at catching the football. Christian McCaffrey, I would say his hands are probably better than the majority of NFL wide receivers right now. The guy catches the ball just so seamlessly. It's like it's just easy. If you watch the combine or if you've ever watched Stanford football, you know how easily the guy catches the football. It's absolutely amazing, his ability to catching. He's really God-given. You know, some people are just God-gifted to be certain ways. He's just a God-gifted athlete. You know, his father played in the NFL. His grandfather was an Olympic sprinter back in the 60s. He's just a God-given athlete who works his butt off, and he has a great skill set. Catching the ball, very important as a running back in the NFL nowadays. The vision. His vision inside the hole is amazing to basically see where a hole is going to open up and his feet go there at the same time. Amazing quickness. He has great speed in the open field. You're not going to catch, unless you're a cornerback and you run a 4.3, you're probably not going to catch the guy once he gets in the open field. If you're a linebacker or safety, there's no way you're going to catch him in the open field. You've got to be a cornerback. So great open field, and then as far as durability, that's going to be the one question because he's a little light. He weighed in at the combine 202 pounds. So the question is, can he carry the load? I see no reason why he cannot carry the load, given that he carried the load at Stanford. He would get, 30 plus touches in a game and be just fine. So there's no reason for me to feel like he cannot carry the load in the NFL. Does that mean he's going to get 30 plus carries a game? Maybe not. Maybe closer to 20 carries a game. But still, he can be an all-around great three-down back. So with that being said, how does he compare with the other running backs in the draft? This is a running back draft that I maybe have not seen in a long time, guys. I think this is going to be one of those running back drafts we look back at and we say, wow, that was freaking impressive. But of course, a lot of it depends on, can these guys stay healthy? Do they have good offensive lines? A lot of different factors. But when I look at the draft here, we got Dalvin Cook, who's, on the majority of people, he's the number 1 back. Lenord Fournette, for most people, is the number 2 back. Christian McCaffrey, for most people, is the number 3. And then we got Alvin, who's actually the number 4 back, who's kind of like a no-name in college football, honestly, unless you're a Tennessee Volunteers fan. He was like a no-name, but he's gotten way up in the draft. And I watched some highlights on him. Very impressive. So you look at the height of Christian McCaffrey, that's literally the perfect size for an NFL running back. NFL running backs, historically, look at all the great ones. They were all around about 5'11", the majority of them at least. Weight, he's a little small. The average running back in the NFL is around a 220-pound weight, so he's a little light, but as you get older, it's a little easier to gain weight. He's a little faster than the average running back. He's actually the fastest of those 4 running backs. Ran a 40 time of 4.48, very impressive. Look at his vertical, absolutely amazing when you compare it to a lot of the other players, except for Kamara. Kamara has a vertical of a great wide receiver, 39 inches. That's just ridiculous. Lenord Fournette, when I look at him, I'm very surprised at how bad his vertical is. I don't know if that has to do with explosion in his hips. He didn't even do the broad jump. Maybe it's just something, he's too heavy. He can't really get up in the air. Maybe he doesn't have a lot of great hip explosion. When you're a big running back like he is in college football, just because you run over people, it doesn't mean you have a great explosion. Could just be because you're pretty fast. He runs a 4.5 and he weighs 240 pounds, guys. Doesn't mean he has a great explosion in the hip area. So when I look at these 4 guys, I see a lot of talent. I see Kamara as being a guy that could be maybe the superstar of this class, but he's also the least unproven of the bunch, for sure. I see Lenord Fournette, and he's the guy that you would think he can be the beast. But how many running backs over 240 pounds are really great running backs? How many of them, 240 plus, have made it into the Hall of Fame? Generally, 240-pound running backs or can have, a few decent years, but not generally great running backs long term. Guys that are going to 5-10 Pro Bowls as a running back, they don't weigh 240, 250 pounds. So that's something to take into account. He might be too heavy. Dalvin Cook, I look at it, is I would put Dalvin Cook as the number one back in this draft because he's got the whole skill set. Kind of like Mccafrey has a whole skill set. I just think Dalvin Cook's a little more proven than Christian Mccaffrey, even though Christian Mccaffrey is a great running back in itself. He nearly won a Heisman. But I would probably take Dalvin Cook number one in this draft. I would probably take Mccafrey number two. I would take Fournette number three and probably Kamara number four. I think for sure Mccafrey, Fournette, and Cook should go in the first round. Kamara is either very end of the first round or beginning of the second round, in my opinion. I watched him on tape, very talented, but he's very unproven, very raw. So that's kind of my view on this class, but I think it has the potential to be a very special running back class as long as they can all stay healthy. I mean, if they get major injuries, that could dampen the whole class, but I see four extremely talented running backs with all a bunch of different skill sets. And you might ask why I put Mccafrey ahead of Fournette. It's simply because Mccafrey has the full skill set. And Fournette, does he catch the ball anywhere near what Mccafrey does? No. So you might have to take Fournette out on third down. And then Fournette's a 240 plus running back, guys. I'm not convinced that there can be a great running back in the NFL that's over 240 pounds. I have not seen it in a long, long time. So for those factors, that's why I have Fournette actually ranked lower than Mccafrey. I think Cook and Mccafrey should both go in the top 15 in the draft. I think Fournette should probably go somewhere between 20 and 25. And I think Kamara should either go very end of the first round, beginning of the second round. I think all these running backs, I think Mccafrey, Cook, and Kamara have a chance to be all three down back. I think Fournette can probably be first and second down running back in short yardage type situations. But what he is at that, he can be exceptional, which is why I still grade him with first round capabilities, guys. So that is my view on this draft. That's my view on Christian Mccaffrey specifically and how it relates to these other running backs. I think it's going to be a fun draft to watch. I think it's going to be fun to watch how all these guys progress as the years go on, and we shall just enjoy. So I hope you enjoyed this today, guys. And you know what? Have a great day.